Hi lovers, welcome to the Rose Garden. I do want to make clear what I mean with when I say lovers, especially today, because this is 30 days ahead, and see the lovers card, that's not only about love between people, but it is very much about connectedness with the divine and seeing what's true for us. And there, of course, comes the roses at play, because the rose is the symbol of the mystery, what connects us and draws us into our true selves, our true love, and this is also about life, right? So our true soul's purpose and all that. So welcome. I'm glad you're here, and today it's 30 days ahead. Okay, it's a timeless session. I will do a little bit of clearing also, so if I see some blocks in your energy, I will add some magic to make it easier for you. And the whole session, of course, is about getting you in a state of inner knowing. So it's not like that you have to take out your to-do list and write it down, what spirit wants from you, you know, what are you called to do now the next 30 days, what's the shift I need to accomplish, and then take notes and then go, do. No. A tarot reading, of course, works with your subconsciousness, so please just relax, and let me do the work for you, okay? And let the frequencies connect with your subconsciousness. I do have these 3 piles with pre-shuffled oracle cards here for you to choose. So this is group 1, group 2, and group 3. And I will leave the image here for a minute, not going a little bit in as I do that with counterpart relationship readings, just so, because it's just about you and not about something specific. Oh, and I do want to say I am filming this in May, in the midst of May, at a new moon, right? So we are encompassing 1 moon cycle now, and it's very interesting. So though this is a timeless reading, right? But the next full moon, it's the blue moon. Ooh, and a blue moon, that's just the name when we do have 2 full moons in a month, like it's the second full moon in a month, because our calendar is, we only do have 12 months in this artificial calendar, but nature has 13, right? And I am, 13, that's the death card in tarot, and that speaks about the full cycle and the renewal and all that. So the number 13 it's very important, and there are a lot of fairy tales about that, you know, what might happen if we exclude that just because it's not fitting. So yeah, we fall asleep, right? We fall asleep. And I do want to encourage you also to just look the astronomical zodiac cycle up, what we have today. If you do want to connect with dates and the star phases, take the real ones, right? Please do that. Just take the real ones and connect the dates with actually the stars that are in the sky, and not what's written in the book from some Roman emperor 2000 years ago, because that's of course not the truth then, right? That's artificially. And I have a tingling that this whole reading has a lot to do with authenticity because of the blue moon thing, right? And listening to what's real to our soul, and maybe what's hidden, what's not yet in the open, something like that. So something occult, right? And occult, that just means hidden. That's the opposite of May, by the way. So in May, where we are right now, here, when I do the reading, that's all what's visible in front of us. We just had the flower full moon, and that's May, right? The fullness, the richness of spring again blossoming. But now we do have the second full moon, and this is like, what's not yet visible, right? And in the zodiac, as I said, this is the sign, the opposite, the complementary sign, that's the cult, that's Scorpio, and that's all about the fire within, the hidden, in the depth, you know. So this second full moon and this reading, I guess, is all about what we can kind of seeds that we can dig out of. Yeah, it's like a second bloom, I guess, like something, yeah, maybe even, you know, connected to relationships, a second bloom. Maybe we do have something like that in the readings, we will see. But you choose your group, right? And something what's hidden or pushed aside or, you know, taken out of the picture, just like the 13th full moon of the year, which is obviously there, right? It was never been not there. It was always there. But just in our calendar, it's written as if it's not. And so then we kind of do think it's not there or not relevant or whatever. But of course it is. It's the last page, the 13. That's when we literally renew and rebuild and recycle. And yeah, it's a very powerful energy. Okay, so that's that about the reading. And now you can choose. I love you very much. I was shuffling, pre-shuffling thoroughly, and the tower fell out, and that's so great because it fits perfectly in the reading. So we take that already, and let's start with opening up your oracles. So you chose Can You Hear Me? And see, this is literally your subconsciousness, your heart, your heart maybe, and it vibrates, totally. So just like the tower, right? So this is what's coming up to the surface, and whatever was holding that down, that's the tower, right? So the tower, that's what you break free from. So this is very, very beautiful. And so what I said in the beginning with the artificial zodiac and coming from the Roman Empire, so that's that, right? That's that energy, what you break free from. That totally resonates with your group. So you free yourself from false expectation, especially with the chess game here, right? And Roman Empire, and see, it makes so much sense here. It's like we walk in rows, and on the yeah, and always lead to Rome, or how do they say that? Yes and no. Absolutely not, because you are here to pave your own way. Absolutely. And you come out of the water, right? And the water all, see, you are here to move like water moves. And water always finds its own way. And this literally says following your own intuition instead of the established order. Okay? I could repeat that message 1,000 times, but I think you got it. That's the overall energy, okay? Overall, that's what that month is about for you. Totally. Okay? This cycle, and a month, that's like a project. That should be a project from the universe. A specific time period where we can really, just like the moon, bring one thing into full fruition and release something to the fullest. Right now, today, I'm filming on the new moon. But in 2 weeks, that will be gone, right? Because that's the next full moon, and it's the blue moon. The blue moon where you will listen and trust your intuition more than what kept you so-called safe before, right? The control system, what kept you safe. And we adapt to what we, of course, grow up with and be programmed with. We adapt to that and we take that internally, and that kind of forces us in a repetitive cycle to always do as we are told to, right? But you are here literally to break free from that, because you are the one. Oh, okay, yeah. Listen, can you hear me? Okay, music helps. Okay, and see, isn't that crazy? And we can take these to our ears and literally listen to the universe. So that's what you're called to do. But I wanted to say, you're the wild rose. You chose the wild rose. And that's who you are. And you're literally here to help waking humanity up. To also with number 1, right? Be the leader, pave your own path. And you can take all that as foundation. That's great. If you really shredder that in little pieces, you can walk on that very comfortable. I must say that. And with the wild rose, I immediately saw an image of an acquaintance of mine. She was married to a narcissist, which is something, just as an example, what creates such a framework where you were kept, in a repetitive cycle of delivering specific behaviors and not be allowed to be you and all that. And they had a marriage rose planted in the garden, and the year they were breaking free, and it was totally divinely orchestrated. So it did not even came from herself, right? She at that point hadn't the full strength, and that's what Tower Moments are for. Tower Moments are here to help, and they help whenever we ourselves are so put down that we cannot, because it's just not there, right? It's just not there. If you think of the order in the wolf clan, when you were treated like an omega wolf for too long, it's very, very difficult to stand up. Just with, an orphan who's been told all their life you're a nobody because there's no name on your life, right? There are a lot of books written about these things. And the transformative journeys then, when these wonderful souls finally find themselves, and that's your story, right? You finding yourself, totally. You finding yourself now, and you breaking free. And of course, you were always there, right, with you. But maybe you weren't looking because you had to maybe survive, right? And you had to deal with a lot of things. So no blame, no shame, right? It's totally totally normal to adapt as a human being to what we need to do. For example, a job, right? We need to survive, we need to eat, we need to pay our rent. So to just live, to just exist, we grow up in a specific set yeah, like a situation on a chess game, literally. And when you stand with your back to the wall, you cannot move. And that's when the tower comes in and helps you and opens a new room all of a sudden. And this wild rose, I mean, the rose, the marriage rose, that was so cool. And that year, right from the roots, from your deep roots, right from the roots, the wild rose underneath was coming out. And yeah, thriving, right? And blossoming. And the artificial one, you know, roses are made like that. They are in the gardening, where they make them, they are put together like that. And yeah, but the wild rose was overpowering that. And I saw that vision. So that's you, right? That's you, overpowering that. Coming totally from the roots. And that means you have done deep work. That means you have literally you did the work, right? Totally. And reconnected to your spiritual roots, yeah. Somewhere in the depth. Let me see. You do have the beautiful light message saying the voice of the heart. So you literally connected to your inner core. Oh, and with the turquoise, I feel literally with the heart of your soul, the seat of your soul. That totally looks like the chakra at the thymus gland. It's in between the throat and the heart chakra. And there's the seat of the soul. And there is also anchored, that's the foundation of your astral body, spiritually speaking. So from that place, you literally can shift timelines. Because from that place, you can envision something else. And that makes so much sense, right? With Can You Hear Me? And the music and the wild rose breaking free from the deep roots of your soul. Wow. Let me read that. I silence the fear in me, wow, and discover the voice of my heart. The fruit of these words guides me. I trust the song of my soul. My intuition leads me on the path of light. Wow, that's beautiful. If you do want to have a screenshot of that powerful story here, please take that. And we put it right here next to you. I'm doing a little bit of artwork over here. And we do have a number for you, and it says 5. Yes, and that's the turmoil, right? Every cards with the number 5 in tarot speak about the friction, but friction is literally necessary. It's the 5th wheel we put on a vehicle, and then it goes wonky, and that breaks the tower down, actually. And then it realigns and goes naturally, because the 5 also speaks about our 5 senses, and it's the human. It's the human. It's the 2 legs, the 2 arms, and the head, just like, you know, starfish. And yeah, so it's total self-acknowledgement, and it's Hierophant, which speaks about internal higher morals, like something we align to. And so that's totally what that's about, right? You aligning to your own inner voice, to your heart. And I'm also being shown an apple, you know, the fruit of wisdom, and the apple has this 5 cores, like chambers. So there is a lot with secret chambers and aligning with that, with the, and that's literally from where you get, I'm drawn to the eye, from where you literally get your visions. And it's all about the unfoldment from very, very deep within. Okay, so now let's see how you can do that. Ooh, that was fast. 3 of chalices. Rejoice. Oh, I feel Christ consciousness coming through. And Page of Coats. Okay. So this is again listening. So listen to subliminals, learn. This is also learning. This is you literally tuning into the air, the spirit. Yeah. And also stepping into the excitement. And you can, excitement and fear feels very similar. So if you do feel afraid, just tune into that image. And yeah, there are clouds, but there's also adventure in the air, right? And you can maybe envision that there is a ship about to land there, and yeah, maybe she can go there and go with the ship, right? And it is totally about a celebration. And if no one is around you, that's about your spirit guides, your angels, totally supporting you, totally and see how the air is moving here. So here's a lot of movement. 5 is all about movement. So a move, okay, a move. And be in joy. What's that? Yeah, Knight of Chalices. That's so cool. Let yourself, that's again the rejoicement here. Let yourself be fueled. And if there is no one around you, because around you is only that kind of energy, then yeah, you are totally called to listen to the voice within and listen to frequency music, subliminals, whatever, like create, co-create with the divine. And also, of course, readings help to tune into future energy. Okay, so this is literally you going on your path. And I love it because the Knight of Chalices, that's so cool, because that's the one who is in alignment with the heart. That's the one who speaks from the heart, who lives through the heart, who goes through all experiences through the heart and is motivated through that. So if you have been motivated through survival and fear before, now comes the time where you are motivated through what truly matters emotionally. Okay, like deep within. And so this might be creative projects, artistic expression, just doing something you love, right? And that's the motivation, is love. I do that because I love that. And not I do that because I have to, because it's expected. Now I go the wild way, right? Wild rose. Now I blossom at my own time. The wild rose, and the guidebook, what I read it before to see what will resonate in the reading. So what totally resonates, that the wild roses are not planted in a row. We do have that here also. They are not planted in neat squares, right? No. They are blossoming and thriving as they wish. And when you do have a rambling rose, wow, they do what they want. And yeah, that's so cool. And also they said in the guidebook, they don't open up and especially for someone who walks by, to make other people happy. I felt that's the most important thing, and it makes so much sense, I feel, with the Tower and listen to your inner voice. So do not, live for others, shine for others, blossom for others, exude your energy for others, like extend, like just because you see someone is wanting you, you are not obliged to answer that call. Totally not. You are here to answer your own call, and you are here to direct your focus where you want to direct your focus. And this is not about the wanting, but this is about the true alignment with your soul. So go with that. Go with your soul. And we do have another peeking through. The Six of Seeds. That's so cool, because that's Six of Wands. That's victory. That's like, yeah, now it's my time. See? Wow, I love that. See, everyone else is behind the fence, but you are just here, ready to go. Wow. So that's your message, okay? And that's the transition for the next 30 days, is from letting the wall crumble down. That's where you start. Letting the wall crumble down. And kind of warming up, right? Warming up, yeah. That's also before a race, or before, a sports challenge, when the team is cheering you on. And that was the energy I was feeling, like you've been cheered on, and you learn. You learn about what's next, what's the path, what is there, right? You tune in there. You tune into the future. That's the most important here, tuning into the future and see it as an adventure. And exchange fear with excitement, because it feels super similar. And whenever you feel wonky and afraid, it's like, oh, okay, that's just, I'm excited, because I'm going on my race here. Now it's my turn, right? Now I go. It's me now. And then learn a little bit. Just learn. Okay? And the more you learn, the more you feel safe then. For example, with opening up a YouTube channel, that's what I can speak of. And that, of course, freaks one out, right? When you stand before that. And what helps then is, of course, learning a little bit. Learn how the movie app functions, and yeah, when you can handle that, then you feel like a pro, right? And then you can cut your videos, and that's a skill then. And then you are already with one step on the road, and then learn about everything you should click on YouTube, to adjust your channel. And I totally missed out on that earlier, but I made that a little bit later. So I hope now the algorithm knows kind of who I am and who I want to serve here. So this is totally necessary to align us. Oh yeah, so it's necessary for you to align yourself with your future, because that's not, the old way does not work. The old way, you can totally let that crumble out and crumble down, and now it's about building anew from scratch. And that's that card, right? You tune into that wonderful energy of tuning in and learning for your new. And the new is some aligned with your soul, with your heart, with your emotions, with your core, and you will be very successful. See, just because it's your turn. You clearly can see that, right? It's your turn here. It's shown. It's your turn. You're next. You're next. And these guys here, they will have their time too, right? But right now, they are the ones sitting behind the wall and watching you. So you are the one who is creating the show now, right? Step on. If it's about music, literally, if you do want to release your own music or poetry or whatever, yeah, makes so much sense, because that's also the card for go on stage. Maybe that's why I had the YouTube example. So do your thing, go out, show yourself. And you will be celebrated, because they are all watching. They are like, ooh, that looks good. See? So that's that. That was your reading. I hope it helped, and I hope it... Oh, and I want to say also on the 5, it says balance and harmony, I guess. And see, so 5, yes, that's... but it's all about because friction is necessary for healing. Okay, so do not mistake the friction you feel for something not good, but because it is good. It is actually very good, because the friction you feel shows that you are beyond that now. And now then, as we said, you get cheered on, and let yourself be cheered on. If there is no one cheering on, do that yourself. Go to YouTube, click, go to the search bar and type in subliminal for whatever you want to do. And then listen to that overnight, maybe 30 nights, to really go through that cycle of starting something new, because it's a big step. It's a big shift you are doing, totally. And yeah, see, it's you stepping out of that. And this is the shift, literally. From over there to over here. And to go there, somehow you need to go over the wall. And you already are there, right? It's already breaking. And yeah. Okay. And now you're the show horse here. Okay? And horse is, of course, the highest energy we can embody on earth. So that's very cool. With a horse also, I want to say, this speaks about fastness and big momentum, and night also, from page to night, that's a shift. Here you are standing on your feet, and I was thinking about maybe there's a ship coming, but no, you're getting on your own horse and you go. And that's even better, right? That's even better, because you yourself can move yourself now. And this is fast movement, fast acceleration. And just think about if you live in a tribe, just, with no machinery in the ancient days, and then you have horses, what reach you have. It brings in so much abundance and so much connection, right? So much, it's just the reach. So there will be a big shift in you spreading, And also with the 5 again, they showed me the star, like stretching your limbs, and maybe even do some physical exercises like that, where you literally stretch yourself to the fullest and stand there in the star energy with the V pose, with the arms up and stuff like that, so that you totally go out of fear, because fear crumbles and makes us restrain ourselves. So loosen your body and open up, and see, arms open here, arms up. That's important. And horse is a lot about movement, so get yourself in movement also. Okay, so now that's it. that's it. And we just had 1331, that's nice. And so I wish you the best of luck with that super great shift. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. That's so cool you do that. And we need that, because the wild roses, they are so necessary to awaken. With the trumpets, that's all about awakening humanity. That's your purpose. Okay? That's your purpose. I'm glad you're here. Bye-bye. 144. Hi, group 2. Love you very much. So let's see. I was pre-shuffling your deck, and this whole pile fall out. I will just go through that real quick. And I'm called to take, by the way, for you, the underneath the deck energy now also, which is strength. Okay? But this is kind of your past, I feel. So 8 of Swords, inner work, being totally kept within, and the Tower. And by the way, if you were drawn in between 1 and 2, group 1 might very well be your past energy, okay? So that's then the reason, because they were in that tower shift moment, but you already are out there in the moon, right? Totally in the depth of your subconsciousness, of your psyche, of your soul, totally doing the inner work, like totally, this is totally dark night of the soul energy here. So you've been in something, and it's so deep. This can also be speaking about a big shift which you were working on for lifetimes, right? This is a very, very big thing. And see, we have a second moon here again. So this is extremely deep work here. The Hermit, right? Soul searching, Akashic record searching. See how you tapped in here into different realms. That's amazing, right? And yes, the Ace of Cups. Source, Christ consciousness, and see all the energy, the aura. Wow, amazing work. So you did amazing work, amazing. And here you go. Now that's kind of recent energy. Page of Pentacles, realigning with your reality. Okay, and here you are, Queen of Wands, bam. And yes, that's also a thing, I feel. Keep these. And that's literally what you've been through. And the return speaks exactly about that, exactly. About now, life, real life around you is aligning with you, and you decide what's next. And we should look at that, by the way. Oh, what's that? Yeah, you decide what's happening next. That's beautiful. You decide now, okay? But we should have looked at that so that you really can acknowledge that, because that's in this oracle card, you know. It calls you literally to look and acknowledge how far you have come. Like, let's look again. That's big, right? You were totally kept in this mental, spiritual prison, kind of kept away from everything else. Eight of Swords is really deep inner mental work, which can feel like entrapment, because you are forced to be there. So because you are working on this soul level here, you are doing this deep work. And I feel this tower even was in the underworld here. So I feel you even did ancestral work. And of course, past lives with the Hermit, right? This, as I said, he tunes into the Akashic records. And you found your Holy Grail. You literally found your Holy Grail. So let's keep that also out. Okay? And recently, you've been here, realigning with life. That might have felt like, oh, I can feel the sunshine again after being so long in this dark night here. And maybe you feel like, I want to cook a nice meal for myself. And you even actually enjoyed that. And maybe you found yourself out in the streets doing just some shopping and actually enjoying being outside and not, only wanting to hermit anymore. And this is totally 4 cards about you hermiting and your outer world not being there, right? This can also, of course, be linked to very heavy external experiences like unemployment or illness, some things like that, relationships breaking down, which forced you to go within, right? and it's all for a purpose. And you literally were working on that for lifetimes. I have to repeat that. So it's beautiful, and I kind of want to keep them somewhere, but not to focus so much on the past, because now you are weaving the future. It literally says weaving flowers. And this card says, it's up to you now. See, it's up to you now. You are free to go with complete full source here, right? You can completely choose, because you are fueled, literally renewed. And let me see your numerology. That's so cool. It's the 4. Strength. Ooh, strength, yes. And stability. So again, confirming, right? Now the ground is stable again, and you stand on this new earth, on this, new earth, on this new platform, I want to say, a new fundament. You built that, like you dig that out of the ground somehow. And yeah, you forged that. Not sure where to put it, maybe here. Okay. And now your garden will be watered, right? And you're out in the air again, in the sun. Yeah. Big glow up, right? Big glow up here. You coming out of the darkness and standing there in full glory, literally full glory. See the shine here? That's your energy. And see how your energy here also is blinking. Wow. Everything you do from now on is blessed. Yes. Wow, that's so cool, group 2. I'm so proud of you. And we do have spiritual growth. Yes, we saw that. Spiritual growth. And because of that, now you are weaving your own flowers. And literally you are not weaving threads anymore, but you're weaving flowers. Wow. I love that. And you do have 2 wonderful cards here. One is affirmation and one is return to heart. Let me see what it says. I listen to myself, yes, and acknowledge my needs. That's important, okay? Your physical needs now are important, because as I said, now it's up to you. You choose. And the strength also is speaking about the deep connectedness within to all you are, all that is. It's also a very, it speaks about having this strong life force as we see it here. Alignment with the reptile brain, you know, also a very magnetic aura. You have that totally, like you are so, I'm hearing pregnant with what you will birth. Like you're pregnant right now, 9/11, and Archangel Michael is protecting that. That's a protected purpose here. Wow. So I listen to myself and acknowledge my needs. I assert myself, oh yes, you do, and retain my power. I am brave and gentle. Wow, brave and gentle. I don't have to be afraid of others. I respect myself and am respected by others. Wow. Yes. And you are part of the big work, you know, the great work we all do. It's also here in the card, in the Rose Oracle, the return. This is similar to the rose is blooming, you know, to the bloom card, where it's all about you stand in your full bloom, but it's deeper than that, because it speaks about the cycles we go through, even with past lives. So it makes so much sense with all that depth here. You have, see, this has formed your foundation, okay? And this is why you have weaving flowers, because it's one bloom after the next bloom after the next bloom, and you can weave that all together and work with these cycles. And yeah, let me read that again. Return to heart. I breathe light and stick to the essential for my soul. Yes, of course you do that, because you are so in alignment with your essence. It's all about your essence now. Essential for my soul. The present moment. I calm my thoughts. I focus on my heart and find space to be where my light and greatness are. Wow. I find peace and inner silence. I have to read that again because that's so powerful. Return to heart. I want to say return to core even. But yeah, return to heart. I breathe light and stick to the essential for my soul, the present moment. So you are called to be in the present moment, and that's so much that card, right? Be where you are right now and connect with the light right there where you are. And then carry that into the world. Okay? You are backed up spiritually, from soul, from your higher self, from all that is. You know, you are totally backed up from the field here. But your power place is always come back to that, because that's present moment energy. That's just you dealing with whatever I said, you know, cooking, shopping, and being in that moment and really enjoying that, okay? I calm my thoughts. I think that's relevant because we had that one here with the tower. So there is a little bit of, maybe still residue, you know, residue of the old struggle there. You can ignore that and instead focus on your needs, because we had that also, you focusing on your needs. And so you can calm down everything else. That's a good first place to go to also. First, check out your needs, right? This is very much alignment, as I said, with the reptile brain, where it's all about, okay, are my needs met? Am I fed? Am I, you know, am I satisfied? Have I everything I need? And for how long? You know, maybe even, you know, buy a little bit more so that you have enough for, I don't know, next week's 3 months, we say, is a good thing to have like storage for, to feel completely safe internally. And you know, when it's about calming the thoughts, yeah, that's so good if you have to prepare, if you have prepared the next things you have to really do, you know, have to prepare the next day and the next things. And when I was doing workshops like self-employed, I always, after a session, when I came home, I always checked, okay, when it's my next, and what do I have to prepare and bring for that? And I would pack immediately for the next thing, and then I would look, okay, so now how many hours do I have, or how many days do I have until it's the next where I have to go? And then I rested, right? Instead of resting first and constantly having in our mind, okay, I have to prepare this and that. Also with schoolwork, lessons, whatever it is, it's really best to do it immediately to get it off your chest. If you really have to do something. I don't know. But but this is all about you harnessing your glory, right? And so you kind of getting rid of all the to-dos as much as possible, you know, to not have them predominantly in your field, because you totally want to be in this state of, I'm only in the here and now, and life is unfolding naturally for me. And of course, I guess we do have some margins or some, you know, dates, some appointments where you then, you know, have to set an alarm or something. But to get you free space, okay, so that you are not constantly in this beta wave, I have to do, I have to do, I have to do, but on the contrary, you can totally enjoy being in that blooming state, because that's the state where you have to be in, like totally to the fullest, to the fullest. Enjoy the present moment. So I do not assume that you are on holiday the next 4 weeks, so that's why I said kind of get rid of your schedule as much as you can through organizing, through taking control. And we also had this, I'm not afraid of other people, right? So yeah, there is a thing of you getting your power back through you self-organizing yourself. And then you kind of differently regulate and reign, you reign your day, right? With the Queen of Wands, that's of course, yeah, attractiveness and all that, but that's also someone who takes her own actions, or their own actions, right? It's standing in your own power and knowing for yourself what to do and reigning your schedule and all that, totally. And so that you can do that here from the sea, this is a totally nice team here, you know. He totally calm and backed up from the subconsciousness. These waves, they must be in peace and harmony and they create, you know, the shine. It's like literally here, the upper half and the lower half here with the Strength card, right? So this is on outside seen and this is unseen. And this is, you tamed that subconsciousness, you tamed these fears and anxieties, and also the sensation of being beneath. You're not beneath, you're in control, you're in power. And being in power, that's different than being in control. Control is sometimes just the opposite of faith, but you are totally standing in faith and in alignment with soul and with the divine, and so you are actually empowered and not only controlling and managing, but of course, as I said, some things you might have to manage, but you just manage them, right? You just deal with that, what's necessary to deal with. And through that, through taking the right actions at the right time, I feel right actions at the right time makes so much sense, because we have the Pentacles, and that's all about also scheduling and timing and having our days nicely, right? Yeah, having it all together, like totally having it all together. This is why this guy isn't moving fast, because he literally has it all together and schedule is working, right? So no haste, no haste, no haste. That's, oh yeah, so that's an important message, really, to never let someone else hack your peace and calm, and stay in your own timing. I feel that is very important. Okay, I calm my thoughts. That's where we were, right? I focus on my heart and find space to be where my light and greatness are. Yes, that's what I explained, right? I find space to be where my light and greatness are. So the other spaces where you have to be because you have to, you kind of cut them down, right? You press them into little scheduled pieces, like into boxes. Okay, then I do that, and then I have to do that. But in between, that's me time, my time, and that's where I come into my power, and where I literally do whatever you do, you know, your bloom here, your bloom. And literally they said, it's up to you. It's up to you. Let me read the guidance from the Rose card, because it says, it's a very small written, I acknowledge how far I've come, right? We said that. And how much I've grown. See that? How much you've grown? Intensely. And I decide what happens next. See, that's so important. You decide what happens next. That's why I spoke so much about the schedule, I guess. It's important that you are in power here. And this is all about the doing, the wands, the suit of the wands. And you have internalized that. It comes out of you. And as I told you with my schedule, you know, when I lived with someone earlier and I did it that way, and they knew, of course, when I had to go, and they get nervous like 2 hours before I had to go. And I was like totally chill, baking cakes, making tea, and just doing things. I totally relaxed, and they got more nervous, and then they exploded and were like, yeah, but don't you have to go, and blah blah blah. I was like, yeah, my alarm will ring when I have to go. And that's exactly the moment when I step into my shoes and leave home, right? And go out of the door into the car. That's exactly that time. And you know what? Everything I need is there prepared at the door. And I'm prepared myself, like internally, I know exactly what my next session is about. I'm totally good with that. You know, I have nothing to research or learn or prepare. It's already all prepared, and it's already packed at the door, and my timer will ring when I'm going. And before that, you know what I need before that? I need to restore my energy. See? Restore and rejoice and just enjoy myself in the present moment. And they were stunned, you know, they didn't know, of course, that people could work like that, because we are not told to work like that. In school, there's always someone telling you what to do next, and hurry, and hush, and do this and do that, and hasty. But no, I totally feel you needed to hear that, that there is another way. And maybe you already know and do that. But if not, I hope that helped. And let me say, have I read that here? Yeah, I find peace and inner silence. Because that's what you need. You know what I said a lot of times, I guess now. No one is allowed to disturb your inner peace and silence. And you know you have to go in that space before you go, right? Deep within, because these depths, though you are now out there in the sunshine, back in the light, back reconnecting with life, still these depths are there. And that's now your power place where you draw your energy from, right? See, you can draw constantly energy from your soul here, from the depth, from the depth of your psyche. And to do that, like even on a daily basis, you have to schedule time for maybe meditation or just deep rest, you know, whatever it is. I like also baking for the present moment, and gardening and stuff like that. You know, I totally like that. Even cleaning, these are very good actions to tune into the present moment. Literally, we can meditate doing that. And yeah, so that was my specific guidance for you, very practical. But yeah, I mean, now you are right in bloom here, and this is literally about how we can bloom and restore, and bloom and restore, and bloom and restore. See what this card is also saying. It's like constantly doing that, not once, but on repeat. This is also, we do that on repeat, and we shine in that. And literally this looks like the North Node, right? I love that. So yeah, I guess we are ready, group 2. I guess we are ready. I do want to have one little hint here. Ooh, 5,000. 5,000. 5,000 energy. Yeah, play, right? Playful, childlike, playful, creative. 5,000. That's also, of course, a romance and sexuality. But yeah, just be sensual and have fun and enjoy and create these. Now I understand better what I was telling you. Like, understand free time for kids and see how kids live, literally. Of course, yes, they have things to do, you know, go to school from, you know, until that time, but then they are free. And this is the energy I was trying to explain. Like, then you are free. And when you are free, be free. Like, be free as if you are wow, I can't speak. As if you are again 5 years old. Like, literally childlike energy, present moment, enjoy life, enjoy a game, play games, paint, sing, do whatever, or, you know, bake, cook, clean your house. That's all can also be done, you know, listening to music and dance with that and have fun with that. It's all about totally rejoicing and bathing in your own essence. Whenever you have time to always constantly work on that glory here, you know, because this brings the shine, literally. The more time you spend with yourself and not, you know, learning, journaling, planning, no, with yourself, being in the present moment, enjoying life. That brings that shiny energy, what you need, because that's the pool, that's the source, the force. That's your money, basically. That's your resources from where you draw the future. And the future is yet to build, I feel. But what you have to step into the next 30 days, it's the ability. And I love that, you know. First I thought that that's the 2 of Pentacles because he's holding something there, right? Maybe it's a mirror. I'm not sure. So yeah, side note, do mirror work. Connect with yourself, totally. And with your physical self. That's what you are called to do. Your physical self. Here also, physical self. Reptile brain, that's very physical, very primal, primordial origins, very raw, needs, food, all that, right? I spoke a lot about that. So yeah, health. That's how you create more of that essence. And that's prana, that's life force, that's chi, what we see here. And that's what you are creating. So you are learning to create and recreate your prana constantly. Like how you do that, how you rejoice in whatever doing and whatever works best for you. And they said it's up to you. So just play around with that and find out what works best for you, right? That's what you're called to do. And so right now, it's not so much about really go out and do the work, you know. No, it's more about schedule your breaks from work and fuel these breaks with as much passion as you can. 5th house, that's all about passion, right? And you do want to create passion projects. We see that. You do want to build new earth. You do, or you are doing that. Maybe you are doing that, right? Maybe you are already doing that. But still, even if you are doing that, you have to focus on your breaks to reconnect you always, like multiple times during the day with your soul, with the present moment, with the light, to enhance prana and also go a lot out in the sun. I see that clearly. Okay? So that was your message, and I wish you all the best. And I love you very much, and thank you for being here. Oh, and of course, please like, subscribe, and all that. Comment how that resonated. And yeah, show me some love in return. Thank you very much. Oh, the return, yes. Oh, also, yeah, return. Energy is returning back to you now. That's a last message here, totally. The energy is coming home, kind of. Okay? Okay. Okay. Bye-bye. Hello, group 3. Love you very much. Welcome, welcome. So now I'm smarter. For group 1 and 2, I shuffled the deck in advance, and cards were falling out like that one. And so for you, I really did want to do it on camera. So we do have the Knight of Cups already showing up as kind of showing the mood here. Okay, so now let's go into your cards. With day and night, I feel yin yang, alignment, balance, very powerful state. And with the hair, I feel you are listening to your yin in the night, and your hands are working in the sun. It's like, wow, you are with, how we say it, like with 2 feet on, like in the Temperance card, you know, with one foot in this realm and 1 foot in the other realm. Yeah, that's where you are right now. I totally like that, and I do want to put her center position. Yeah, good. And you do have the Holy Grail. And the Knight of Cups, obviously. He holds the Holy Grail and is pouring the water source energy, love, you know, into his realm, the world. So this is super beautiful already. I'm stunned. And you do have more cards, more angel cards than the other people, the other groups. So you do have also a special angel number, the 555, saying positive changes are on the way. So you will experience a big shift that kind of will hit you like a wave here, just because you are in perfect alignment, okay? And okay, they will go there. And with the angel cards, 4 came out together, and then this one also like setting the tone and stressing what's important. And I feel we put it right here to our Knight of Cups. It says communication. So it's so important that you communicate, okay? That's what will bring in the shift, you communicating, okay? And we do have as energies self-love, blessings, there we go, divine timing, and serenity. Isn't that beautiful? So I placed the angels here, and so we don't even have more space for more tarot. I don't think we need that. So with the Holy Grail, right? The Holy Grail energy. So there are, of course, a lot of stories about the Holy Grail in the external world, but I guess true seekers kind of understand that it speaks about something within. And with you being here in this sun, day and night energy tapped in, I feel that's that. Like you are tapping into your Holy Grail constantly with the Knight of Cups. And even sharing that, right, that energy, communicating. And the most important for you is literally to stay in tune. And I'm sorry, I'm speaking slow-mo, but that's it, right? That's what you need to do. Go relax within, slowing down constantly, and outside there might be happening even a lot. But where really life is happening is within, totally. See, we do have divine timing, blessings, self-love, and serenity. So this is where your power comes from. And this is kind of holy grail essence, right? The blessings, the self-love, the holy grail is said to connect us to eternal life. And it is kind of the vessel that holds the soul, maybe, or a universal energy. And maybe it's just, the vessel where we are connected to Source, and the well that's overpouring constantly, that can only do that, of course, as much as we, I'm seeing an image like you diving in, kind of against the stream, against the current. The current pours out with the 555. It's like going out, going out, going out, producing, doing, being creative, doing. That's the energy in motion. But you simultaneously go within, like against that, against the grain, right? And this is what holds the well in motion, the fountain, what makes the water flow even, because this is, so this is yin yang in motion, literally. This is because you direct yourself constantly inward. This creates a magnetic pull for the water to move constantly outward then, right? And this is what creates the blessings. That's so interesting. You really consciously focusing on going within, focus on you, on your core, and see that really as this vision, Of course, we are living in this world and we want to see how the water literally waters our garden and makes our flowers blossom and brings in, the fruits, the seeds, the abundance. We want to see that in life. And so there is a kind of a danger to focus on that outward expression. But where you are called to be is constantly you move inward, because the more you move inward, they literally show me how water is so magnetic, and even the surface of water is magnetic, and there is this pressure, that holds it together and can be drawn. You see that when these little creatures walk over the water, for example, and it gets a little bit bent, but it's not breaking, right? And so it's kind of, you bend the frequencies, and we see that here beautifully also is in this image, how the frequencies are literally formed here in a way, right? I mean, it's the wings, but yeah, I see it as part of the waves, right? And he is holding this grail here. And just watch the image a little bit. And he really comes out of the ocean, right? But what I've been shown, is diving in there, right? You should dive in there, and the more you dive in there, the more the water then pours out. It's like the deeper you go, the more blessings would then come out, because this is totally just the magnetism then. Wow. So cool. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. So let's look. Gratitude, wow. And joy, yes. So joy, of course, tend to yourself, do go within, yeah. And the joy that's literally here in the cup, the more joy you create, the more blessings pour out. And instead of, trying to multiply your blessings and work on your blessings, no, just receive. And that's the energy, like go just within, dive in there. And imagine, yeah, so this goes literally beyond what we always say in manifestation, that you have to see them already there. It's just, you are so sure. You're so sure that, of course, the water will water your garden, that you don't even look there, right? Because you just go deep within, resourcing yourself. And that what brings it out then in the open, naturally, in divine timing. And you fully understand it's not up to you to go and take every drop of water and water all your plants. No, the rain will fall. The rain will fall. So stay in this sea and everything will blossom in its own divine timing. See how a garden unfolds itself in spring? I can watch that literally right now in my garden. A few weeks ago there was barren land, and now there are areas looking like paradise already. So it's crazy how nature does it, all on its own in divine timing. So let me read these. Gratitude. I am aware of the light in my life. I direct my thoughts to the beauty in and around me. I give thanks to God for every little thing that brings me joy. Thus, I enlighten my thoughts, riches around me, and I appreciate all that life brings me. Yeah, this is literally focus on the little things, like literally like, oh yeah, I have water in my home. I have water. I can just take water. It's there. And that's rich, right? That's riches already. And you do have a blanket, I assume, where it's comfortable. So that's riches you can totally enjoy and indulge in. And instead of focusing on something big you want to have, a new car or whatever it might be, totally focus on that everything, will show up in divine time when you need it. So, I myself, I'm not a car person, by the way, so I don't need that so much right now, at least. But it depends totally on our surroundings, so on our purpose also. And I had a time in my life where I was doing a lot of workshops around the country, and so I had to move a lot. And for that, I literally got a supercar manifested, like falling from the sky, a supercar. So a very, very good one. And I didn't plan for that, but I needed that, right? So that's what I mean with the blessing. So if you really need something, it will show up in miraculous ways as an opportunity. And then, and it was like, oh, okay. So I guess I needed that. And then, I had that car. But I wasn't planning for that. And that's how manifesting works, because the divine feeds us with the resources we really need for our purpose. And back then my purpose was driving from A to B and to C and delivering, you know, what I was delivering. Yeah, so, but now I work at home, and so I don't even have a car, just as an example, right? And I don't want one. So, but maybe a bus later, you know, for holidays. But yeah, but right now, no. I do want to spend time in my garden. And so it totally depends on what you focus on, right? What you get. So, but you always will get also what you really need. So the best way to tell the universe what you really need is through joy, literally. So what brings you the most joy, that's what brings your soul the most expansion. And that's what will be the most supported from the divine. So just focus on what you love doing most, and that will show up. The garden I just mentioned also showed up, right? Just so, as an opportunity. I didn't plan for that, but I needed that. And that's how it works, right? You have to only focus on joy, what you really would enjoy the most. So let me read that. Like a child, I discover joy in the simplicity of life. Happiness lies in magical moments, nor in the material. Even the smallest joy is a great source of light. Okay, so both cards speak a lot about the simplicity. So you are literally called back to simplicity, and me mentioning even cars and other things, you know, like luxury items, I feel civilization kind of forces us to want. And speaking about how I don't want that right now, so this is literally part of your reading, right? To bring you a little bit back to what's really, really necessary right now. And the big shifts are coming. Big blessings are coming. Maybe this is even a lot of money, right? But money, divine money, is divine provision. And divine provision is given to us for a specific purpose. As I said back then, my divine purpose was driving from A to B and delivering, like giving workshops, right? And that was my divine purpose. And I needed that car for that. That was just a resource I needed for that life, for that purpose. But it's not about the car. You understand what I'm saying? It's not about the car. And yeah, so let me get my manifestation deck in a second for you, because I really want to see what's going on here. But the most important thing I'm seeing is that you are about to be blessed. Totally. Like we see that, right? You are about to be blessed. And it's about your inner preparedness, I feel, to receive, and to be able to receive and then also handle. Maybe it's about the handling of the resources and really using the resources you get, you know, the divine provision, for what it's meant to. And also, if you want money or something, want to manifest money, you need to really specifically not want the money, because money, it's just like a blank energy, right? You have to imprint that. You have to say, okay, I want to have money so that I have enough free time to do what brings me joy, right? I need enough money to get me free from work schedule, maybe, right? Or I need enough money to, literally, maybe you do need a new car for whatever reason. Maybe you do need that. Then specifically ask for the car, for the right car that you would need. And imagine you having, of course, that, right? And because, I mean, my whole life is a testimony of the divine. So I everything, always, I get it, just what I need. So also a lot of crazy shifts in my life, but in hindsight, it all makes so much sense, right? So much sense. So let us see, because I feel inclined to speak about manifestation. This is my deck. Yeah, exactly that card. I saw that in my mind's eye also. So this is manifestation. Unified field. Congrats. Your yin and yang are in perfect balance. You can create your own world now. Feel the sacred flame within. Dance. Yeah, and the sacred flame that's within the Holy Grail, in the joy. That's the sacred flame right here. And so you go in there, go in these simple moments that bring you real joy. Like what brings you real joy. And that's where your money comes from. Literally. That's money energy. Divine money. Literally. I will do a pick a card about abundance, by the way. So this one also, that's nice. Didn't I said something about you need free time? Yes, you need free time. Heart opening, it says. A few days of freedom from your usual tasks can work wonders. And that's the blessings, right? You do need your blessings. Okay. And you probably ask how to do that, because probably you do have a 9 to 5. And so if you have a few days off, then that's that here. That's what's in that card. Let me start anew. Okay, a few days of freedom can work wonders. Use your time out to tune into future timelines. Get a feeling for the future frequencies. Okay, so that's what they really want you to do here with the divine timing. So it is an alignment, and now it's literally you tuning in to you feel super, right? And with the gratitude, that's literally constantly being in this yummy, saturated feelings. And whenever I'm doing a big shift, like a crazy big shift with the tower moment and all that, I'm warned in ahead, and I'm not seeing that for you, right? Just me explaining what that really is about. And I'm called then, in a shifting moment, I'm called to totally overdo self-care, like self-love, self-care, like totally overdo taking care of myself in every little detail, like doing so much, like bathing the feet and, you know, brushing my clothes and giving myself crazy whip treatment, basically, like diva, right? Diva energy, whip treatment, literally whip. There's also a subliminal for sure about whip treatment, so that you can tune into that energy, which helps, because, you know, as kind of normal humans, we are not used to spend so much time just on ourselves. And when we want to create a new life, we think, okay, we must focus on the new life we want to create and work there. And so we work in our old life, and we work in that doesn't work, because we work ourselves up and we use up our energy. And it's all about multiplying that beautiful energy, okay? So this is literally how you switch, shift into something new, birth new energy, just like as if you're pregnant, Empress energy. You have to, Empress treatment, literally. Imagine you're pregnant with blessings, right? Pregnant with blessings. So that's, and here's no tower moment coming, totally not. Let me get some tarot for you to confirm what might be, coming. Yeah. 3 of Pentacles, very good, stable, with the divine. See, I see the diamond here, and totally super stable, because that's divine stability. Wonderful. And this is, wow. Okay, so you are on a big transformation. We do have death. Big, big, big transformation. With the 555 makes sense. And we literally go out of suppression, oppression, that says oppression, and it's the 10 of Swords. So yes, you came out of that, or you are coming out of that right now. How interesting. I kind of felt it a little bit, but yeah, not sure, right? With the 9 to 5, and now we do have 5 of Pentacles, like something is really missing. And this is, it says literally torture here. So surroundings that are absolutely not supporting. And this closes out with a death card. This is the strongest energy, and this is a recycle, and this is the end, the outcome, right? The outcome is divine stability, alignment. And you can see these two as yin and yang, and you are in perfect balance. You are perfectly holding that, and that's then how the third is created in itself. That's the joy. Also 3, joy, Empress, third chakra, solar plexus, right? Solar plexus must be lit, must be passionate. And the gratitude helps the root chakra. Gratitude is literally helping against this painful lack experience. So literally be grateful for the water you have and for the blanket you can cuddle in. If there is nothing else, then yeah, I guess you also have some devices to listen to YouTube. So that's also something we can be grateful for, right? So we do have something. Maybe we don't have what we think we need right now, and maybe there is really lack, right? But 555, positive changes are on the way. Absolutely. And what you can absolutely do is, whenever you have a few days off of your usual tasks, maybe you are a mother and you are constantly caring, constantly in this hamster wheel, and you literally have no time. But then your kid goes on a class trip, or to the father, or whatever, or to a friend, and use that time. Not to prepare for when kid is back, but use that time for yourself. Totally yourself. Yourself. Tune in within. Within. Just within. So this is interesting. I'm glad I got that, because yeah, you literally have been through a lot here, right? But it's ending now. Now it's ending. We can literally fold that together here. And 3 of Pentacles on top of 5 Pentacles, that's great. Because that's co-creating with the divine constantly. See? And your most important task is holding this balance here. So this is what allows the divine to bring in that pentacle, right? So that's that. Wow. Okay, I do want to have that. Oh, see? I do want to have that right here. And death comes on top here. We let that fall out. 919. Wow. So that was a big karmic cycle you've been in to work something out, which was very, very, very deep. Now they are showing me an angel deck with concrete guidance for you. Oh. Okay. So feel, seek health and wholeness. Okay, yes, self-care, right? Seek health and wholeness. And Yuma says, make time for some silent reflection. Yes, make time. Make time for yourself and go freaking within, right? Not outward, not outward, okay? Now they are showing me another deck. Okay, so you had a lot of cards for a reason, right? Spirit of peace. Wow. Making a choice into the unknown, wizard of awareness, ride the wave, balancing act. So that's your story in this deck. Yes, you are doing a balancing act, so it might be a very tight rope you are stepping over right now. You know, with 10 of Swords and 5 of Pentacles, that's, and the cruelty in there. So yeah, tight rope, tight rope. And the timeline I was tuning into, where I got the car, you know, yeah, I was pretty much balancing into that new life back then. And I did that because I constantly just focused on what I wanted to do, what I wanted to create. Yeah. And I ignored everything else, you know, that's what we literally should. Ride the wave, yes, ride the wave. And with a dolphin, you're safe. And tune into the divine communication also. Also readings. Readings help. Wizard of Awareness and Celtic. The 3 again, see? Same symbolism. Spirals this time. Yes. Unfolding. You might have a link to Lemuria or to the Celtics, right? Very beautiful. And into the unknown. Yes. When you balance over this rope, yes. Making a choice. So you are literally shifting. You're literally changing your life, I feel. Wow. And the life you want to choose, just imagine, how do you want to feel in that life? Of course, you want to feel safe, grateful, saturated, warm, cozy, nice, you know. And so take the time to, it's not the spirit of peace, it's the spirit of place. Wow, I never had that card, by the way, so I will look that card up. But yeah, so you create, there is one window what you are closing where it was 5 of Pentacles, pain, pressure, and literally suffering. and oppression, and you are closing that out, finalizing that, right? Totally. So you close that window and you open that one and you go there. And behind that door or window, there is the opposite of that. So instead of suffering, you have comforting. And instead of oppression, you have freedom. Okay? So, and joy. So this is very joyless. Wow. Joy is missing. So joy and gratitude, they are here for a reason. That's the energies you want to tune in to create that more in your life. That's what's missing, right? So tune into joy and gratitude like crazy. And let me look that. So that's great guidance, by the way. So yeah, spirit of place, that speaks about literally the spirits of places, spirits in houses and rivers, in forests, wherever. And having that card speaks about that your answer lies in the circumstances you are in. And we saw the circumstances, and it's written here. Is your question about a struggle, like with a tightrope here? And what we see here, the answer is to relax, as I said, and let go of your need to control the situation. Okay, that's what I said all over the reading. It's divine timing, and you're called to be serene and to be able to open the door to receive the blessings. So everything what you experience, what you don't experience, literally sit down, please. That's strong guidance here. Take a sheet of paper or in your notes on your phone and write down 10 things, because we have 10 swords, right? 10 things you don't like in your world, like in your surroundings, in your environment, connections, work, what you need to do constantly. And we have that here also with the heart opening. When you are free of your usual tasks. So your usual tasks are kind of oppressing you and suppressing you and suppressing your spirit. So wherever you are in your situation, you are kind of suppressed, I feel. And that's about to shift big time. I mean, you're the only one with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 angel cards. So they were jumping out of the deck like crazy, and you're the only one with a special number, right? And I mean, gratitude and joy, that's highest frequencies. It's so, and that makes sense, right? We do have the lowest point and the highest point, of course, both together, and you can hold that. And night and day now gets another meaning also, right? You've seen the night and now you will see the day. It's like a 180 shift. You will get, okay, into the unknown, like into daylight now. Wow. Yeah, so that's what you're about to experience, and that's your window here. And use your windows of opportunity if you literally have time out. Whenever you do have time out, take that time for yourself to tune into these 2 frequencies. And especially if you have your list, you know, where you write down your 10 points, what you don't like, switch them 180 and say, for example, oppression / freedom. So you want freedom. So, and then create an affirmation like, I am freeing myself more and more, or, you know, on a daily basis. Or I would literally take an affirmation which you can align with, even if you're not yet there. You know, if you just say, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free. Oh, I'm so free. Oh, how wonderful it's, I'm so free. You can do that, yes. But if that feels a little bit icky because you literally feel oppressed, then it's better to formulate something where you are on the way to becoming that. That's specifically good working, for example, if you have to release something, like I am releasing my fears on a daily basis, or I am tuning into the frequency of forgiveness step by step, like more and more, day by day, and so that you literally print the passage, you know, to go from A to B. And this helps to go steady. Otherwise, the shift feels like constant back and forth, and you are in a corridor then longer, I feel, as if you are acknowledging, yes, it's a corridor, it's a process, right? An alignment process. And so now I am in this alignment process, because that means I'm not in place A anymore. I have already left place A, right? For example, let's say you have financial depth, and that creates guilt, and that creates, of course, oppression and lack of freedom and all that, like negative energy, right? And what really can get you captive spiritually. So you would formulate something like, I am releasing guilt, or there's even a prayer, like a Christian prayer for that, or a Jewish one, I don't remember, but where it's literally about the shift, that you are not kept, you know, so that you are not kept in that place, like mentally, where you are feeling bad because of that, because you already mentally have tuned out of that. And so now you are the one who will be able to repay depth, right? So I will create balance, or I am, you know, stepping into a life where I am standing in my power, and where I enjoy paying my bills in gratitude, right? We do have lack here, so that's why I say that. So, and the more we are in lack, the less we do like paying bills, right? And actually it should be otherwise. It should be sending out our money with gratitude and joy, and paying grateful and joyful for what we then receive. And this creates literally more stream, more influx, if we can do that. But I understand and know from my own experience that when you are in a state of, for example, bad health and not having enough, and everything is kind of narrowing down, and it's like the walls are closing down on you, of course it's very difficult to open that. So we first have to open our mindset then, and before we are literally in the new world, we have to be mentally, spiritually in the new world, spiritually free. So this is, yeah, what manifestation is about, right? To, before the world is there, we have to step in there. And I see here with the autumn leaves, I also see a lot of release is necessary. I feel release of the old surroundings, release of, yeah, mindset even, right? Maybe limits, maybe literally monetary, like money, false mindsets according to money, where it's like, I have to save, because otherwise it's taken from me. And yes, we have to save a portion, but that's just a self-love portion. We do not have to save everything. So money likes to be used for specifics, right? And be enjoyed. And yeah, So these two energies here are the strongest to create money. That's why I speak about that so much. Like with gratitude and joy, you literally create money. Because these two create more energy. Root chakra, solar plexus. Yeah. So I guess that's what you're up to. And you are suppressed, I feel, in your surroundings, which is heart chakra, which is relationships, which is work and life, everything around you, everyone wanting things from you, and maybe even children you have to, like contracts you obviously have to do, and things you have to do. And we saw 919, which is all about this full karmic cycle releasing now. So it's really a big thing you are working through. And it's now, like now it's happening. And we do have the super moon, right? No matter when you tune into this reading, this is just the energy here. It's a new moon today. And I'm looking forward to the blue moon, which is all about the authenticity. And this card also speaks about your authenticity is your superpower. And I guess your authenticity is not in alignment with your surroundings right now. This is why you are stepping into the unknown here, and why you are getting a new pentacle. This is like a new life is created, new circumstances, like fully new, fully new. Let me get another. Oh, okay, they are showing me the Lenormand. Okay, let's get a Lenormand. This, okay. Oh, okay, yeah, you do have in your environments, you really do struggle. A snake, right? A snake. Ha. Okay. Can you see what the snake is doing? The snake is suppressing your light. What the F? Don't like that. But this is ending, and this is coming. Wow. Lover's energy. The heart. So you free your relationships. Okay? That's what you are doing here. You are freeing your relationships. That's literally freeing your heart chakra. And relationships, that's not only romantic, but it can very well be. And we do have literally a snake here, kind of someone trying to take from you. And is taking from you, not only trying, but someone who is taking from you, someone who is like an energy vampire taking your light. But it can also be that they literally use your light up, they lose your money up, they lose your resources up, they kind of eat from you, right? They eat from your spiritual light, I feel. And this has to stop, and this is meant to stop. And whenever you have this free time, you have to create literally oases for the joy, and on a daily basis be literally always tune into the gratefulness for the very little moments, and detach from these surroundings and go within your own authenticity. And we do have the burning heart here, right, which is passion again, and there we do have the joy. Yeah, so follow your passion and reignite that. Reignite, because they take from your source here, and that hinders you, of course, right? And that's what's about to end. Oh my goodness. Group 3, I'm literally, I do want something else. What might help, hopefully. Yeah. You got that. Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay. So 9 of Wands, saying strength. Wounded warrior, but yes, you are strong. And this is the Prince of Pentacles. And see, you are literally working like an ox, right? But still, even, I'm thinking about when I do gardening and there is really hard work to do, and we even can enjoy that, and to be that strong, right? To be that strong, to get that resilient. And this is a preparation. for whatever comes next, right? You gained that strength and you can be proud of yourself so that you really have that. But see, here's again the light. I like that. Ooh, the sun and the moon. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. So you draw your power from underneath the earth. And same here, you draw your strength from underneath the earth. So that's also ancestral. Oh, this card also spoke a little bit about ancestors. And yes, makes sense, because circumstances, surroundings, that's very often ancestral, right? Really, literally, people we live with, or like landlords, neighbors, things like that, as well as workplaces, that's where karmic family of origin stuff is prolonged. Because at one point, you know, we move out from home, but we do have these crazy contracts, like karmic contracts there, that we want to break free from specific things. And for us to be able to really do that, to fulfill that soul need, and we want that, right? We want that moment of, I've freed myself from that, and now I am fully in my, you know, it's just a great moment when literally you're free of that. That's, you want that, you want to come free from that. And to be able to do that, as I said, is prolonged at a work environment or living environment where you are constantly concerned and bothered with the same things, until you are so strong that it's kind of you. See, I see you as that one, the one strong pillar here now, totally aligning sun and moon, day and night, totally having both, being grounded so deep and being also, you know, heavened so high that you can hold that and you outshine that and you also outsmart that, you know, totally. And they cannot get at you. Then, you know, this is like you in your new world here. In your new world, you are just too big, you know, for the situation. And this is what's happening right now, because you do have the 555. This is the big growth, the rapid growth. Like all of a sudden, you are so much too big for the situation that the situation itself will fall away, like totally. That's what's happening, okay? And yes, that's Kairos, the wounded warrior, the, yeah. It's a big deal you are going through. I want to acknowledge that, right? It's really big. I mean, you feel that, right? It's, yeah. And you have to also know that there really is something from outside of you taking from you, right? Environment, like also X-ray your environment again and write down what's bothering you there. And that's pretty much in alignment, I guess, with the 10 points you want to break free from. So, and this is literally what you as a soul chose as your, you know, training ground to become that strong pillar here. See? And with these two, then we go back into what I said before with the 3 of Pentacles, how the divine comes then, you know, see, divine feminine, divine masculine, and then we get a 3rd pentacle. And depending on how strong that is, right? How stable that is and how good you can hold the balance and everything, that's the foundation for a divine creation. Yeah, that's the foundation for divine creation, literally. So yeah, and you do have the Lovers, which is all about divine creation. See, here is the sun Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So it's beautiful. It's super. You're doing super good. But I understand you're probably pretty much stressed out because the energy is whoa, whoa. Okay, we have a lot to handle here. Okay. So, but you do have ancestral support and you do have angelic support, like to the max, to the max, to the max, like universe is watching, right? Universe is with you. And you can always ask and tune in and communicate with your guides, however you can do that. And this works, of course, only if you create this space of freedom. You know, you have to constantly think of your heart and to create spaces for your heart, right? For your heart, that's the one thing, the Holy Grail within, what gets you out of that. Okay? Yeah. Tune in there. Tune in there. And yeah, I was shown some, you know, a lot of the time. So yeah, I will tell you that. So I was shown a lot of the time in this reading one situation of mine where I had to move out of harsh environments with a landlord, which really much, very much, they picked up on narcissistic structures. And it was number 19, so yeah, that energy was 919. And yeah, and I moved from there into the house number 6, which is Lover's card energy, Venusian energy, very nice. And I was literally called, I said that, right? I guess I said that. I was called to extensive self-love work in that period. So literally tuning into diva energy. So doing all this self-care. And that brought me to this place where now when I look around, it's all wonderful, harmonious, supporting, and nice, right? But it was this shift from night to light. So I can totally feel that energy here, relate to that. And it was, yeah, for me it was, I was very, very in faith and trust. And because I got so much signs, you know, so much signs, so much communication, and so much readings also, but literally direct signs. And we do have the bird here also, the spirit guide right next to your head, right? I feel you are getting literally signs all around you. And with the water around you, and here also the wings with you, I feel, yeah, you should get direct communication. Yes. And you should create a space around you, a protective space. I feel that too. And not around, you know, the whole home, but just around where you are, like create an inner circle energy. That's what I did back then. I created an inner circle where I was also saying the universe, okay, I retreat my energy, I concentrate my energy, as we see it here. I concentrate this into my core, and I created kind of a shell around me, around my bed, and literally I retreated in my space. And yeah, you know, and then I did just extensive self-care and totally ignoring my situation, which was harsh. I was under severe attack, I want to say, from my landlord, and they wanted to get me out, and I had no idea where to go and how to find a good apartment. And then I needed to, you know, lift up my energy to do that. And that's what I did. You know, I lifted up my energy so high. And when you are in an environment where literally they try to push you down. I see that, I feel that. They really try to kind of, you know, extinct your, yeah, you know, don't want to say to end you, but like to get your light out. It's a strong, yeah, you know what I mean. You're under attack. You're really under attack. So, and I created this space where really no one could come in, because it's like in the heart. And you know, all these biblical stories where it's in the pit, it's in the desert, it's this energy, you know, where we get our uttermost strength together. And this builds the foundation of then the big life, the big purpose. See, it's this pyramid then here building. Yeah. Think of Joseph. Yeah. So, oof. Okay, wait. Yeah, I really had to tell you a little bit that I can relate to that, because I feel that with this energy, you know, you are here on that rope and it's like ride the wave, make the choice, and into the unknown. It's totally, you are leaping, right? You are leaping. And to leap, it's so important to hold this inner balance and not look outwardly. What this card is constantly saying, it's not outside of you, it's inside of you. It's all about the internal work here. It's all about go dive deep within in your holy grail and retreat in that, maybe even. And it's because of your holy grail, of course, you were attacked, right? So let me see if we do have something here with the frequencies, some specifics. Okay, this one, that's nice. Reason, okay, reason. So that's intellectual work. So reason, do you want something else? Okay, now we are there. Very deep here. Despondency. God is condemning aggression. See, these are the frequencies, like the dark ones. I wanted to see them, what we are turning out. So desperation, right? God is condemning. It's like and this is like literally doomed. And this gets us angry. Yes. And we release that. That's what we release with reason. Because, you know, there is a reason for that, right? 919, it's a big karmic release here, what's happening. And you are meant for greatness. You're meant for greatness. Holy Grail, hello. The Lover's card, that's life purpose. And all the angelic support here. So maybe it's just that you chose on purpose a bloodline on earth, just like Joseph, you know, a karmic situation with your family. I mean, he was sold to work as a slave, see? And we see that here, working like a slave. So Joseph, that's a story for you here. But that was all preparation for his purpose, right? But of course, there was a time in the pit where we are literally feeling despair. And we feel we are condemned to do that forever, maybe. And there is aggression then piling up in our solar plexus where joy should live. It's both linked to the solar plexus. And when we are deprived of joy for too long, that creates literally these internal tense emotions, because it's all, yeah. But aggression also is necessary to break out of what's even below, right? So we need to feel like reasonable angry, I want to say. And anger, it's a symptom. So be angry and in the sense of, I'm not allowing that, direct some forces and to create a shell, not to, not to punish or do some bad things yourself, but literally like, no, that's not what I allow in my life, and that gets me angry, and that's why I turn around and do something else, and that's why I'm ending that contract. Like, I'm not allowing that to happen anymore, because we are totally called to release that or that, right? Okay. And yeah. And with reason, that's like, okay, so what's counting here in my life? It's ABC, okay? I need food, I need water, I need this, I need that. And do everything like reasonable and relate to that space where it's all about, okay, like, what's the parameters here? What's really important? Like practically on the mental plane, this is all about tuning into the higher mind there. And instead of hanging here, right? And losing energy, like for no reason. We want to totally try to cut those ropes and free ourselves. And yeah. Yeah, I wanted to put that here on the communication, because that's what you need to communicate. It's throat chakra also. So maybe just affirm that if you cannot speak out loud to these people, take your notes, sheet of paper, and write it down. Like, I don't allow blah, blah, blah. I release blah, 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 right? Just write that out and make that clear for yourself. Like, I make the choice that this ends with me, okay? I chose that path, not to live that forever, not to hang in there forever, but I chose this path to end that contract, to end these misarrangements. And maybe it's ancestral contracts, right? Maybe it's ancestral stuff you're working through. Might have nothing to do with you, right? But you, because you have this specific strength within you to be able to deal with that, that's why we choose specific environments to literally break contracts, false contracts, and to be an example also for others, and to just break, parts down of the matrix where it's unhealthy. And oppression is unhealthy, clearly. And yeah, torture is very unhealthy. So you might have, by the way, carry a witch wound with the Celtic energy we had here, the wizard, Celtic wizard, and torture. So there might be, that there are some spiritual, very high level gifts that want to come out. And because this also speaks so much about the authenticity that's suppressed in an environment, but you tuning into your authenticity, yeah, that's what creates a new environment for your life, for yourself, like a new life for yourself. Okay. Wow, group 3. I guess that's it. I hope I do want to bring you a fish here in your environment. So, divine provision for the trip here, for the journey, right? So we release all that. And throat chakra. Wait. Wow. Oh, you release all that, and we bring in divine provision, okay? Divine provision. Okay, so guys, I hope that helped. I wish you all the best. I love you very much. And I support you. I support you. I support you. Okay. And you are supporting you too. Okay? It's me first here, okay? This is a me first group, okay? Because your purpose is important. And yeah. Okay. So bye bye.